From the moment we wake up, we're constantly bombarded with information, and it doesn't stop just there. It goes on and on and on and on. From Instagram to Facebook to WhatsApp to Telegram, and the list goes on.
As misinformation and so-called fake news continues to be rapidly distributed on the internet, our reality has become increasingly shaped by false information.
Fake news.
Berita palsu.
Fake the news.
Fake news.
He's fake news.
This is fake news.
With all these messages and news we're forced to consume, how can we tell the real from the fake? Take this morning, for example. I was just about to get my morning cup of coffee when suddenly I received a forwarded text saying that the coffee brand that I've been drinking causes cancer. So I decided to go for boba. And guess what? Boba is suddenly haram. At this point, I wasn't just thirsty, but I was really annoyed too. All I wanted was a cup of coffee to start my day off. So I decided to look into these allegations and see if they were in fact actually real. Because I was bothered by the fact that one forwarded message could actually stop people from buying from certain brands. So, what exactly is fake news?
Fake news is basically a lie, something that is just not true. Fake news has been spread as word of mouth, but word of mouth has many platforms, whether it's through a news website, or through social media today, or through WhatsApp messages, instant messages, talking to your family. If somebody spreads fake news about your particular brand or your company, it's going to directly affect your sales possibly. The problem with that is that while you can deny it or you can come up and answer to the falsehoods, not everybody who were recipients of that fake news, if you like, would necessarily be receiving your denial, because there are so many platforms out there, whether it's on Facebook, your WhatsApp groups. A lot of these fake news have a way of continuing their lifespan. Years later, sometimes it comes back.
It's time we find out how fake news can impact brands, and also look into why people still fall for fake news in spite of being able to verify the information for themselves.
I remember receiving the IKEA meatball story via SMS. I've also received a couple of messages for some milk products that were harmful to certain people. I wouldn't boycott it straight away. I would like to investigate further to see whether the product is harmful or not.
Shocked by what I heard, I decided to scour the internet for some examples of misleading news. And here's what I found. I happened to stumble across multiple similar posts claiming that DoGrow, a milk powder brand, causes diarrhea. The perplexing thing is that the post comes out every 2 weeks consistently, with similar claims and photos, posted by unverified Facebook pages, and they're all random at best. After digging deeper into the pages, we found out that they're all fairly new. It garnered over a few thousand likes, yet it has only a few posts. What's even weirder is that all these posts were also boosted. So this led me to question whether or not this was a genuine consumer complaint or a bigger effort to take down the brand's credibility. We then reached out to Danone, the parent company of DoGrow, and spoke to the general manager. So brands such as Starbucks, Tea Life, and as we found out, Danone seem to have been the subject of concerted attacks targeting the brand. Now, how do matters like this affect sales or the confidence of your customers?
This is a brand which has been in the market for the last 60 years. It is trusted by millions of Malaysian moms across the different generations, and the employees work hard to ensure the right quality and safety of the product. And finally, to the consumers themselves, by doing this and having misleading information, we are curtailing the choice and the preference that a consumer has in the market.
Okay, this is a bit graphic, but have you seen this before?
We have done our investigation. We as a company also responded back to the questions and concerns that consumers actually had. But all of these posts were taken out and we were blocked from these pages. Now, wouldn't a real consumer actually want to know from the brand and interact with them and get to know the real answers? So all of this to me suggests that there's something malicious.
So as a major global brand, what's actually been done to stop the spread of such fake news?
So on top of the internal investigation that we have done, we have also reported this matter to the relevant government authorities, including MCMC and the police. And we believe whoever is responsible behind it would be brought to justice. So for the parents and consumers, I would say we have a 24/7 care line which is available. It is comprised of experts. So if ever you have any questions, any concerns, any queries, please feel free to reach out to us and the experts will be able to rightly guide you.
Now that we know these claims aren't verified, how do we protect ourselves from falling for these scams? Let's hear from a social media expert.
My name is Zikin. I'm actually a social media analyst. I primarily run social media and digital marketing for my clients. The spotting of fake news, right? There are various ways to do it. So I'm just going to summarize it to 3 very simple rules, i.e. the SCS3. The first step is actually to look at the source. So for instance, when a piece of news reaches you, whether it's through a social feed or whether it's through your WhatsApp or SMS, right? Ascertain the source. So look at the link of where the news comes from. If it's from a reputable source, like for instance, a Wired News, any mainstream media, it's not that they are definitely telling the truth, but the probability of them spreading fake news is much lower. So the next thing to do is go to the source and look at the credibility of the contents. The third rule to do is search as. So what you do is when you get a particular piece of news that you think is not coming from a credible source, the SC out of the window, copy the caption, copy the link, put it in Google. It's simple as that. I personally think that fake news is something that's very dangerous, and that's why government around the world, not just Malaysia, right, has been enacting and passing laws to criminalize the act of spreading fake news. If you really share fake news, recklessly, i.e. you didn't go through the due process of ascertaining the authenticity of it, right? In my honest opinion, you are committing a crime that's almost equivalent to criminal defamation in our penal code. So that's something that you have to bear in mind. You know, don't become an innocent criminal, because that's what people are doing nowadays, right? Think properly, go through the due SCS process before you share or click or like anything. Not just sharing, because liking and commenting on it would trigger virality as well.
Fake news is still going around. Even as we speak, false information could be spreading. We need to be wiser when we receive news or messages like these. Check the credibility of the sources. Remember, if you're unsure, don't share it. Now, I can finally enjoy my cup of coffee.